Okay, the special flight rules transition starts with the planning of it, because there are multiple options to get from one end of the Bravo to the other, and selecting which one is important. So the way to the place to start would be just your flight plan. So here we've got John Wayne to Santa Monica. If you want to go to Van Nuys, it's probably going to get you're going to get the same answer as Santa Monica. Santa Monica will just have a circle to land versus basically just descending into a downwind for Van Nuys. So once you have your route, or at least your two airports set, you need to figure out how to transition them. And the best place to start with is the TAC route, which if you're on ForeFlight, you can just tap the screen and it changes to the TAC chart, if that's the one that you've got selected. If you're on SkyVector, which is how I did this the first, I don't know how many, multiple dozens of times, just off on the second screen, you can use the upper navigation on SkyVector, go to the TAC chart. The TAC chart is helpful for these transitions because they're actually depicted on the chart themselves. You see these red arrows are actually showing you the on-chart depiction of what these routes are. These shorter little arrows here are the special flight rules. These ones are the coastal route. This is the Coliseum route, and then this one is the Hollywood Park route, or just Hollywood route, I think. I never use those two because they're more designed for San Diego guys coming up and down at a higher altitude, which is really the number one factor or deciding factor for which transition you'd want to use, and that is altitude. So for the exit of I should say for both the entrance and the exit. So if you can fly up to the altitude, but your exit airport is like really quick, you might want to have a lower altitude transition. Obviously, other things come into play there, like fuel and time and all that stuff. If you're actually thinking about it realistically, not climbing up too high to immediately have to come down and waste a bunch of gas unnecessarily is important. So then once you've got your route, you need to pick which transition you want to use. And I have this saved on ForeFlight, but it's in the TAC supplement. On the actual TAC chart itself, so since we've toggled, here's the sectional, here is the TAC chart. This same information is found on the left side of the TAC chart here. These are the supplement that I'm going to show in the actual documents. So the special flight rules one is here. You got the coastal route and the mini route, which is effectively never used. I think it was open for like an hour a couple months ago, but yeah, you'll just like you'll never get it in the real life. So going back to the documents, this is where you brief the actual route. And nope, that's being fat-fingered. These are all the routes. And you can see if you just start here, and just at a glance, altitude's available 8,500 or 9,500. That's too high. Altitude's available 85 or 95. That's too high. Mini route doesn't exist. Coastal route 5,500, 6,500. So that's close, but it is not. It's still too high, especially for a 172. So I'm not going to use that route. But if we go to the special flight rules transition, that's 4,500 and 3,500 southbound. So those are the two. Those two altitudes make much more sense for getting to Santa Monica for sure. 3 laps at John Wayne, something else, and then 2 Bravo transitions of your choosing. Yeah, those are fun. So reading this carefully will help relieve a lot of stress potentially for doing this transition, because the first few times I read it, I didn't read it thoroughly. So you have the altitude here, and it's 4,500 northbound. It's northeast or northwesterly, which is fine. I read all this stuff. Follow rule, should adhere, blah blah blah. There's a couple of key points to this that you really have to pay attention to. The first one is the frequency. So you're going to make your checkpoint calls on 128.55. That's an important one. And also important is, well, one, there's an airspeed limit. So 140 is the limit there. But also this. Nope, that is not a highlight. That's just marker. So the aircraft must be equipped as specified in 91.215, replying on code 1201 prior to entering. So you need to be on that code as you're transitioning. And if you're on flight following going into that transition, they will prompt you to switch over to that. So that is important. The altitude, the frequency, the squawk code. They want you on the 132 radial on the Santa Monica VOR, the 123 from. But you'll see here that limit, or that lateral limit, is not really that important. Let's see. So your east lateral limit is the San Diego Freeway, which is the 405, and your west is the Pacific friggin' Ocean. So that is here's the 405, and then here's the Pacific Ocean. This, you could just do this and you'd be fine. Your track could look like that, and you would be it'd be stupid, but you can do it. It's pretty lax from that regard. But being as close to this radial as you can is definitely preferred, because there are guys that are, kind of all over the place. So if you can be on that radial, you have a much more higher likelihood that other pilots are going to know where you are versus kind of going all over the place. So those are the main things on actually like where to put your plane. The other things are these check-ins right here. And these are check-in points that you'd want to call out on the radio. You've got Imperial Highway, you've got Manchester Boulevard, or the North Complex at LAX. That's one that's usually used in the real world. Bologna Creek, and then Santa Monica. The other thing that's not really on this that is kind of important to know is where this thing starts. Where did I see that? I know it's on here somewhere, or at least it was. Adhere to blah blah blah. Okay, maybe not. So there are two kind of entry points to this that you can use. The first one is right here, and that's the Hawthorne 405 freeway. So VPL SR is the GPS name for it, and it is this little flag right here. And you can see that this maroon line, or this maroon arrow, kind of goes right into that spot. So if you're entering the special flight rules, you can enter at that Hawthorne 405 freeway interchange, and still technically not have entered the special flight rules transition, and use that as a call point. More than likely, though, you're going to be cleared for this transition further back, and maybe even as far back as the the Long Beach Harbor area right here. This is probably where they're going to let you go for that transition. So you have all of this space where you're not quite in the transition yet, and you're going to want to make calls to let people know that you're about to enter it, because there could be some people entering the transition from here, and if they don't know that you're coming, you can have a conflict because you're both going to the same spot at the same altitude. So calling a beam Torrance, which is right here, you got Long Beach Harbor, entering special flight rules at Long Beach, we're a beam Torrance, we're at Hawthorne 405, we're approaching Manchester. And those are not spots that are published as check-in, but if you look at the chart and know kind of where those radio calls are going to begin, when you're not on flight following, that helps out as well. Let's see here. Did I miss anything? This seems like one of those circumstances where sending it IFR would be easier. It would potentially be easier, Horrified Pilot, but if you're not instrument rated, that makes it a lot harder to do. This sounds like a lot of stuff to consider for just a VFR route, but once you've done it, a couple of times, it becomes really, really easy, and you're not going to run into any vectors around anything, because a lot of the IFR tech routes around SoCal will take you, like if you're going from John Wayne to Santa Monica, like it could be this, and it takes a long time. So if you're wanting to avoid that and avoiding any delays, this is a perfect way to go. Okay, so nope, don't want that. We're on the Santa Monica VOR, so we're not going to be able to actually use that as a waypoint because that's our destination, but we can use VPLSR right there as the beginning, and to also use VPLQM, which is Queen Mary, and that is about my route. And if you're moving on from there, you would just continue northbound in whatever direction, because Santa Monica is the end point for that. So parking brake is set. Yokes are gone. Let's make sure that nothing's busted on this thing. I'm sure I ruined something at some point. Nope. Which is so far out of the way compared to just doing SFRA. Yeah. Yep. Can you show the flyway charts? Yeah, do I have those on here? Yeah, I do. Yeah, so you've got a little bit more clear depiction of the route there with the arrows. So you can see it's a mess, but as long as you know where you're going, it's not that bad. It really is not that bad. If you just are like, hey, let's go fly and not have a plan as you're leaving, then you're going to run into problems. But if you know that you're at John Wayne, you want to go to Santa Monica, there's not many options, which helps narrow down the decision-making process, which makes it a little bit easier. Melvin Leroy, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, you're right. The airspace is a lot cleaner for the transitions. What's up, Kenny? Yeah. So that's a good point, Keith. It just comes down to planning when you're flying around here, but it's really, really not too bad. So let's get this plane started, and you can see once you see it, I think once you actually see the transition, little blue green screen thing there. Bill, I think you'd be shocked how often I ask people how they want to transition and they have no idea what their plan is. It does happen in the real world around here as well. Some people just aren't familiar with the Bravo transitions because they're can kind of be hidden on the TAC chart if you're not used to looking at the TAC. and just looking at the sectional, you can definitely miss this stuff. So that's part of it too. Beacons coming on. Throttle cracked. Mixture full rich. 1, 2, 3, and turn it off. Let's get that there. Let's see, what about El Monte to Santa Monica in terms of distance, i.e. Santa Monica to El Monte to Santa Monica? Oh, like just going around? It's never even occurred to me. I mean, going around that far is... I don't know. I mean, I do want to do that city route and go by LAX or like downtown LA, but you have a lot of helicopter traffic around here, and unless you go kind of to the north here, you have to stay really low because the Bravo shelf is down to 2,500 feet, and it's just pretty low with helicopters buzzing around. It's super congested, and you're able to be higher here. You're at 4,500 feet here, and you've got a ton of different airports along the way if anything goes wrong. If you're at 2,500 feet and you're here and something goes wrong, like that's not a great scenario to be in. There's not a lot of options to set it down. I mean, you have the LA River, which is possible, but you don't have an actual airport. You're overflying 4 or 5 airports on your way at a higher altitude here. So, yeah, it's probably not much, but you just have to be a lot lower. And it's kind of fun flying over Santa Monica or LAX. But that's not a route that I have seen too many people try to do. Unless, like I said, unless they're doing the, like the LA City tour and you're kind of anticipating getting yourself into that. But if I was just going to Santa Monica, I'm 100% going over.
Connected to PilotEdge. 2.12. Altimeter 2998.
Yeah, the 4,000 foot shelf.
20 right. Visual approach.
Yeah, but you have to go through
departures, contact,
this
clearance,
LA
delivery,
downtown
advise on
LA
course
portion,
heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read backhaul runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Romeo. John Wayne Airport, ATC information, Romeo. 0253 Zulu. Wind 190 at 5. Visibility 9er. Few clouds at 1,200. Temperature 16. Dew point 12. Altimeter 2998. Arriving and departing runways 20 left, 20 right. Visual approach.
I don't ever have to deal with this anymore. Gyroscopic precession, you're done. I'm through with you, man. All right, we're gonna get.
Hey, bird, whoa, buddy.
Finbar, thank you so much.
4L risk.
Oh God, she tried to speak it. Copy the risk indeed, Finbar. 20 months. That's absolutely ridiculous. Thank you very much. So the real world heading is 220. The Mesa departure is 220. PilotEdge we usually get 240, and then it's at or below 2,400 feet. Departure frequency will be 28.1, and then we're going to squawk something on there. So let's get on to the clearance delivery. 20.8, ready to go. And okay. Drawing clearance, good evening, Skyhawk 53176. Information Romeo, we'd like a Mesa departure to 4,500 for a special flight rules transition to Santa Monica.
Skyhawk
53176, John Wayne clearance on departure, flight heading 230, maintain VFR at below 2400, departure frequency 128.1, squawk 6316.
6316. On departure, that's right heading 230, at or below 2400, departure frequency 128.1, squawk 6316, 53176.
Feedback correct.
Ontario Tower, good evening, Southwest 1706, visual 26 right.
Southwest 1706, Ontario Tower traffic, 12 o'clock, 2 miles,
There's
crossing
230,
left to right.
we're going to be at below
Altitude indicates
2400 feet.
2500.
And we're
Inside
squawking
1706.
6,
Southwest 1706, runway 26 right, clear to land.
26 right, clear to land,
Over the
1706.
ground. 26.8. Johnny Ground, good evening, Skyhawk 53176, ACI West, taxi tower run up.
Skyhawk 53176, on the ground, run up taxi via Bravo.
Alright, run up via Bravo 176.
Fullerton Tower,
Cleared right.
good evening, Cessna
Cleared
767
left.
Charlie Lima holding short, runway 24 ready to taxi.
Cessna 767.
That
Charlie
reminds
Lima,
me,
Fullerton Tower, runway 24,
Finbar.
clear for takeoff.
Runway 24 clear to take off, 7 Charlie Lima.
There we go, Bobble Bill. I'm pretty sure that Bobble Bill just ruins the frame rates, but I don't care. He's actually not what ruins it. Okay, very quick run up just to make sure that the controls work. I had that happen once in the simulator where I
Approaching
didn't do
runway
a run up
02
and
left,
my controls
20
were
right.
somehow flipped. And I do the run up probably like 9.5 out of 10 times, and the one time I didn't do it was the one time that it screwed me. Still working on it? Oh dude, Finbar, that's awesome, man. I bet it's gonna look amazing. Okay, we can do a quick mag check while we're at it, I guess. Good, good, good. Johnny Ground, Skyhawk 53176, continue.
Skyhawk 176, runway 20 right at Kilo, taxi via Bravo Kilo.
Bravo Kilo 20 right, 53176. Cleared left, cleared right. Don't need that anymore. So 230, at or below 2,400 feet. Departure frequency is 28.1. And we've got our transponder code in there. How much better does it feel to say 53176? It feels a lot better. I mean, usually 204 Lima Echo, I just haven't flown. I feel like I haven't flown that in a while, and I also have been saying and thinking 53176 so often lately that it's a little bit more natural right now. Squawk 7500? No. Dude, Bonanza for sure. Absolutely, without a doubt. If you have legs past your knees, you want a Bonanza. There's no room in a Mooney. Okay, let's go 28.1. You do have legs past your knees, alright, so then you're
Number 7 Charlie Lima, contact
going to want to go
local
Bonanza
departure.
then.
So the other departure, 7 Charlie Lima.
Jolene Tower, Skyhawk 53176, holding short 20 right at Kilo.
Skyhawk 53176, John Wayne Tower, runway 20 right at Kilo, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 20 right at Kilo, 53176. Lights, camera, action.
That was 1706, are you parking on the north side or south side?
Just get a steerman.
Fantastic
Fantastic advice,
going
455.
to the north side. Actually, Terminal 2 today.
That was 1706, taxi Terminal 2 via Papa, November 1, monitor ground, have a good day.
Bravo, November 1, monitor ground, southwest 1706.
That's Papa. Papa, November 1.
My bad, Papa, November ground.
Okay, green. Airspeed. Flying. Early turnout approved.
Santa Maria Tower, Cessna 30906 Bravo is 8 miles to the north, inbound for landing.
Comanches are pretty cool too, though.
Cessna 3096 Bravo, Santa Maria Tower, enter right, downwind to runway 30, report midfield.
Right downwind for 30, report
Caution,
midfield for
TFR
96 Bravo,
ahead.
thank you.
All
Yeah,
kinds of
176,
TFRs.
rear contact. Contact local departure.
SoCal departure 53176.
Left 3030, 7 Charlie Lima.
SoCal approach, but Skyhawk 53176, 1000 restricted 2400. Almost there.
53176, SoCal approach, resume on navigation and climb via bar, your discretion.
ONAV and altitudes 53176. Dude, we got split frequencies. Look at that. I like 206s. They're pretty cool. But I still like Bonanzas more. But the bigger Cessnas are pretty cool. 210, Turbo 210 is pretty sweet. Alright, we're own nav, but I'm gonna go still right to Huntington Beach Pier. We're on our own nav, so we can climb up as we'd like to 4,500. Yeah, a Turbo 210 is effectively, and Brad hates it when I say this, but a Turbo 210 is faster than a 300 horsepower Bonanza.
November 57247,
effectively
contact Joshua
faster.
approach 124.55.
You fly a Phenom? Ace, where are you located? Or based out of, if you don't mind. I was feeling depressed the other day because after departure told me I was radar contact. I repeated the radar contact out of habit. Then the guy after me called up and said Longview traffic instead of Longview departure, and it was all better. Midwest, sweet. What Hawker, Ace? Not the little beach jet, right? Because we have a pretty big hatred of the beach jet. The thing is ear-piercingly loud.
Lee 57247.
Oh, they're all on the same
Joshua
one?
approach 124.55.
Yeah, because they're so freaking loud. Those little engines are horrifically loud.
Lee 57247, Joshua approach, Roger, Mojave altimeter 3000, advise when you have the airport in sight.
Can't see anything. Alright, now I was a very
Cessna 7 Charlie Lima, contact
bad
SoCal 135.4.
pilot and did not do this while we were on the ground, but I'm going to get in 110.8. That's the Santa Monica frequency, and then we're going to do the reciprocal of 132. We're going to get that turned around, and there's 132. So 312-ish, I think, is what it is. My instructor said you don't have to repeat that.
SoCal Cessna 767.
Yeah, we copy the risk.
5,000. We'd like to request a more alpha approach to cable and like to see if we can get back to final.
We copy the rest.
November 767 Charlie.
Caution,
approach,
inside TFR.
We know. We know. Let me get this thing on here. So there's heading and altitude. Yeah, there's a big old sucker.
Down at 257, contact approach 128.5.
Look at that monstrosity. Holy crap.
120.5 for United 267.
Turn that off because that's very distracting.
Oh,
there.
Bravo, runway 30, clear to land.
Alright, what's our Queen Mary vector? 5. So there's that.
Approach United 257, descending Ironman 2.
Something like that, okay. It was all made better by the guy after me calling up like he was already in the practice area.
At a 257, SoCal approach, altitude leaving.
United 257, descending, just passing 6,900, descending 6,000.
Little Bobble
November
Bill.
7 Charlie Lima, turn left heading 320.
320, 7 Charlie Lima, left 320.
Whoops. Extra orangey today. I'm just gonna be sickly. Yeah, Ace, you can, absolutely. Ace, if you haven't already, I would
November 7
love
Charlie
it
Lima, descend and maintain 3,700.
if you joined the
Descend,
Discord.
maintain 3,700, 7 Charlie Lima.
So not being able to see anything definitely makes this a little bit more challenging.
Pull up. Pull up.
Ace, thank you for the follow.
United
Welcome,
257, descend
welcome
and maintain
aboard
5,000.
officially. Eagle, are you still watching, taking notes?
United 257.
Still here? I am not happy with the way that this looks. So I'm going to go really quick into here, manually configure visibility. So now I can see the Queen Mary there, sort of visual. Dude, that's... It's for, yeah, I don't care. Whatever. I wouldn't be flying in that crap anyway. So Queen Mary is where I'm headed to, and you can see it there. And that is...
Number 3096 Bravo, taxi
away
Alpha,
from
the ramp,
Long
frequency
Beach
of
and away
Central
from
California.
Torrance. Do the Garmin 430s and 530s split out true airspeed? A true airspeed reading? No, it's just the ground speed.
Taxi via Alpha, remain in street.
The real ones might do that, but I don't think it does. Dude, Pompeii, what is up, man? Ryan and I were just talking about you, dude. Maybe not just, but like last week. How's it going, man? Yeah. Pretty good. Yeah, everything's going pretty good. But yeah, I mean, no different than that for sure. The constant ups and downs. Yeah, but I don't know. If you're going 100 knots, why do you need to know what your
Joshua
true
approach
airspeed
moving
is?
57247 has airport
You're going 120 over the ground.
257247, Roger, radar service terminated, squawk VFR, contact Mojave Tower 127.6.
127.6, 247.
United 257, descend and maintain 3000, turn right heading 160.
Yes, thank you. Peru.
Opportunity 160 to maintain 3,000, United
That
257.
to just omit the plane. So you can...
257247 Mojave Tower at a left downwind, runway 30, report midfield, Mojave altimeter 3000.
Who was that? I missed that. Flight. Did I missed the last bit of that. Let's see here.
Number 767 Charlie.
Flights RG, thank you very much for
30, maintain 3700 until established on the final approach course, cleared straight in via our alpha approach cable.
All I know is I'm stuck on 150 knots.
2 miles to Pomona.
That's pretty good though. Hate to do this, but I gotta bail. That's all good, man. Yeah, catch the rest of it. I will still
7 charge.
I will still address you.
Right heading 240, intercept runway 2, correction 230, intercept runway 24.
We're doing the special flight rules.
Right, 230, intercept 24, right, localizer. Yeah, 257.
So right here, you can do a couple of things. Typically, if I'm heading in this direction at this altitude,
November 96 Bravo, say again.
I'm just gonna stay on here.
Affirmative, I already advised you updated the path. Have a good night. Take care. T57, cleared ILS 24, right approach.
257, cleared ILS 24, right approach.
SoCal approach, Skyhawk 53176. We like to cancel flight following for the special flight rules.
53176, roger, radar service terminated, squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
Alright, 1201, frequency change approved, 53176. 1201.
Number 5150 Tango, contact Bakersfield approach 118.8.
And then 128.55. And now we're going to start making our calls right now. Special flight rules traffic, Skyhawk 4500 northbound over Long Beach Harbor, special flight rules. And taking it in this angle is going to make the radial come in a little bit quicker rather than, you know, kind of intercepting it at a shallower angle. It's fine to start it further back than we have on 4-flight here. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that little dude, and when it's straight up and down, then I'll turn onto it. But like I said when we were looking at this before and briefing it, as long as you're in between the 405 and the freeway, or the 405 and the coast, you're fine. So this is the 405 and this is the coast. So we have to be within that. That's our lateral limit. And you can kind of see how it intersects that. It goes up more here too. That's our corridor right there, effectively. We're almost straight up and down. Dude, no kidding. I fly roads in this area. Absolutely, you can do that for most airports. You can fly the freeways and get there without a problem. Okay, so now we're almost on that radial. We can slowly turn on to that heading. Right about there. That challenge was pretty fun, yeah. You can only fly roads. You got to get from, I think we're at Burbank back to John Wayne, only flying freeways. Yeah, that was pretty fun. All right, so my DG is way off, so let's fix that. So there's 405. Where are we? Beam Torrance, yeah. Special flight rules traffic, Skyhawk 4500 abeam. Torrance northbound, special flight rules. Skyhawk. A little bit right of that. You're chilling a quarter share in a Mooney, but he was too far away. That's a bummer. Get a NetJet livery. There's LAX, and we're coming up to that interchange where it effectively starts. That's the 405 Hawthorne interchange right there. It's almost where we're at. Special flight rules traffic, Skyhawk 4500 northbound approaching 405 Hawthorne interchange, special flight rules. Yeah, club is definitely the way to go for sure. That'll be fun. And especially if you can find a club big enough that's got multiple airplanes that you can kind of try out and have fun with. Whoa. X-plane took a break there. I am definitely a special flight rules snob. So going back here, we're looking at Imperial Highway. That's our next check-in. And it's kind of hard to see, but Imperial Highway is the one that's just in front of LAX there. Can't wait to get my PPL just so I don't have to drive an hour plus to fly. I'll be able to go to the airport in 20 minutes. Yeah, that'll be super nice. Well, I don't know. Why did you do that, Ace? We're all wondering why you would do a thing like that. Coming up on Imperial. So again, I'm going to make that call as we're approaching it. Special flight rules traffic, Skyhawk 4500 northbound approaching Imperial Highway, special flight rules. One thing I should also do that I can forget here is all the other stuff you gotta manage when you're going into an airport that's this close. 19.
One approach in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Oscar.
Oscar. That's all we need. Would it be worth buying a 152 for a new pilot? You can buy old 152 for like 14K. It all depends on what your budget would allow and what kind of flying you intend on doing. Special flight rules traffic, Skyhawk 4500 northbound over the North LAX complex, special flight rules. A little bit off here. I have a feeling that I don't have this really set up nicely. A lot of people are doing that now to build time. Yeah, I've heard some people like splitting a 152 and just like almost flying in circles. That's a pretty cheap way to do it. If you're just building time, you know, if you're using it as an actual plane, it might be a little bit frustrating not being able to take too much stuff, but it is not relatively inexpensive. Special flight rules traffic, Skyhawk 4500 northbound over Bologna Creek, special flight rules. And Tower 20. So we're going to be landing at Santa Monica in this case, which is right there, and we're going to be kind of quick, a little bit early on the last radio call here. What's up, Johnny? Just stopping in to say hello. Well, I appreciate that, Johnny. Thank you for saying hi. I hope everything's going great. Special flight rules traffic, Skyhawk 4500 northbound approaching Santa Monica. Last call, special flight rules. Cessna, I agree, the rep is looking pretty nice. Santa Monica Tower, good evening. Skyhawk 53176, 4500, just off the special flight rules transition with information Oscar, full stop.
Check 53176, Santa Monica Tower, enter right downwind, runway 21.
Alright, right downwind for 21 to 53176. You requested a Steam refund? Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. Let me do it at this point. We're just gonna go full idle. So we have a lot of altitude that we need to get rid of. There's the airport. Start popping them now. Thousand feet per minute isn't super crazy. That icon in the video that I showed earlier, the last time I did this transition, there was an icon. They have a sales base at Santa Monica, and that dude just went full flaps and nose down and just like dive bombed Santa Monica. Those things are so slow and so draggy that they did not have any trouble getting down there. 2,000 feet per minute. Let's enter a forward slip. We might be okay. It's getting down fast enough. I mean, this is just going to be a big-ass pattern, but I think it's fine. All right, we're going to get rid of the iPad as well, just in case this gets interesting.
Number 53176, runway 21, one calm, clear to land.
Clear to land, 21 53176. Well, it's always going to be the speed in this thing. It does not slow down. Did you get the bobblehead? Finbar is how I got the bobblehead. A lot of trim. I've been idle almost this entire time. I mean, for sure, gonna have to slip. Just basically stall it. But the problem, yeah, VATSIM, it's like a double It's like a double problem. Like, yeah, it's not the altitude, it's the airspeed, but without the airspeed, you have too much altitude, and without the altitude, you have too much airspeed. Look at that. It's just not coming down at all. Freaking...
Caution, inside TFR.
I'm a little high. Ace, the problem with this thing is it does not... This particular plane doesn't handle the way you'd think it does. Yeah, without permission, the rep does not do a good job of a slip. It doesn't do a good job of adding drag with flaps. Like, we've been over this like so many times. It's crazy. My reel isn't in now. Santa Monica Tower 53176 going around.
Number 53176, roger, enter right traffic.
Alright, right traffic 21-53176. Yeah, it drops like a freaking rock. What do you mean by rep? I'm new. Okay, so the rep is, it's a realism expansion pack. This is the default plane in X-Plane. And there's a company called SimCoders that creates a realism expansion pack for various planes, including the default 172, and it just floats like crazy. You're just cruising at 55 knots, yeah.
Bakersfield Tower, Baron 515 Zulu Tango is 9 to the southeast. Request full stop with Juliet.
Number 515 Zulu Tango, Bakersfield Tower, proceed straight in, runway 30 right, cleared to land.
Straight in for 30 right, cleared to land, 5 Zulu Tango.
Keep altitude. Should have checked the pattern altitude before entering the pattern. A couple hundred feet high here. Can't hold that against them, not getting a forward slip here. Yeah, no, I don't. It's fine. It's just frustrating when you're trying to match the, match an approach to something you've done in the real world. Santa Monica Tower, Skyhawk 53176, midfield, right downwind, 21 right, full stop.
Skyhawk 176, runway 21, wind calm, go in.
Clear to land 26, 53176. I said
53176, runway 21, clear to land.
21, clear to land for 176. I said 26 left, which is not even the number, and there's one runway, so that was terrible. Like, the other part of that last approach is I was idle the entire time. That whole time was full idle, and it didn't slow down. Tall.
That was beautiful. Nice radio call, Bill.
Thank you. Thanks, bro. It's still gonna end up freaking too high. God damn it. Look at that. Look at accelerating with full flaps, full forward slip. I'm just gonna get it down. And we'll float all the way to the beach, all the way to the pier. Any day now.
Clearance United 5178, ready with Tango, IFR to San Francisco.
United 5178, don't have a flight plan on file.
Acceptable is generous.
Skyhawk 176, taxi via Bravo to the ramp, remain this frequency or same intention.
Bravo to the ramp, we'll stay with you, 53176. So there you go, Eagle. If you're watching this VOD. Pretty simple transition. As long as you read ahead and you're at the right altitude, you're on the right frequency, you got the right beacon code, and you're making the right calls. Which sounds like a lot, but You know, once you're at the altitude, keep it there. Once you're on the right frequency, keep it there. You know, those are things you just gotta know ahead of time, set once, and then the rest is just making sure you're talking. A great landing is one where you can use the plane the next day. Yeah, in some cases. In Chuck Yeager's case, it was. Maybe not everybody. Dude, I wish this thing had an anchor, Beardy. Good lord. Okay, and here is a very poorly modeled version of the Santa Monica FBO. Oh, overcooked it. That's fine. Okay, lights coming off. Avionics coming off. Mixture out. Lights off. Shutter down. Cool. Good job, Dwayne Johnson. Does that look like The Rock or what? I don't actually know what they... Oh, Atlantic? I didn't know that that was an Atlantic. Yeah. So there you go. Sean Bean? I don't know, dude. That doesn't look too... That looks more like The Rock. I'm not seeing the Sean Bean. I know. X-Plane needs a GI 275, even though there's like 3 of those installed in the world right now. Oh my god. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a lot of fun. Nice to get back after a seemingly long family trip up to Seattle. So it's good to hang out again. I love you guys. If you haven't joined the Discord, if you're new tonight, this is the Discord. I pimp this as much as possible because it's my favorite thing. So I hope to see you guys in there if you're not already. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you guys Thursday. Probably Thursday. Let's go with Thursday. Thank you guys. Peace.